Good afternoon, everybody. Kia ora and welcome to our first ever webinar from the University of Otago prior to you hopefully joining us down on campus. I would really love if you could mute your laptops if possible, and if you have a question while we're going through the presentation, you can use chat. The only reason I'm saying that is to get feedback. We've got quite a few people on the webinar, so it would be great if we can keep that muted. So I'll introduce myself. My name's Sarah. I work in the international office, and I am lucky enough to visit India twice a year promoting the University of Otago. I may have met some of you in person, or hopefully I've replied to emails or WhatsApps. And also joining me today is Deepa. And you can tell everybody what you do.
Thank you, Sarah, so much for that lovely introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is Deepa. I'm from India. Currently, I am doing my master's in international studies, a very exciting paper. Have a lot of great subjects like peace and conflict and international politics. I come with about 8 years of corporate experience. This is duly, to be honest, my second master's. I wanted to come back to academics because for the sheer love of academics. And it's been a great time over here, and absolutely amazing and a great learning as well.
Cool. So Deepa's here today from an Indian student perspective, what it's like. Hopefully we can answer most of your questions in the webinar today. It is an overview and an introduction into Dunedin, the University of Otago, some differences you might find and what you need to do before you join us. So it's a very rough overview. As I said, please feel free to type any questions on the Zoom group chat. Deepa is keeping an eye on that while I go through the presentation. Deepa's also going to join in if there's any, so it's very informal today, if there's anything that she feels she can add from an Indian student's perspective, hopefully that will help you guys. So if you would rather speak though, just let us know and ask us a question and hopefully we can answer it straight for you. So I'm figuring this will take maybe about 20 to 30 minutes. If there's anything you want to know, just let us know. Okay, so as I said, thank you so much. I know 9 a.m. in India is early, so very much appreciate you joining us. I will be recording this as well so that we can share this later, or you can share it with any of your friends or family members to know more about Otago. So, moving on, if I can get this to work. First of all, I'm just going to start with an introductory video, so it's not all about me speaking. Okay, so that was a very quick overview of the University of Otago. Beautifully done in pictures, much better than I can speak to it. So first of all, kia ora, which means hello. New Zealand, we have 3 languages. So we have English as our first language, mouth and sign language. I was doing a lot of correspondence with kia ora. We really look forward to welcoming to University of Otago. We are New Zealand's first, and this year we celebrate our 150th. And in the our building, that is the center of our campus. Okay, it hasn't muted their Zoom and it's got quite a loud background noise. Could you just check your Zoom settings for me to go on mute, please? Would be great. Thank you so much. So, where are we? If you don't already know, we are located in the city of Dunedin. That is in the far south of New Zealand. It is a beautiful city. We have a population of 130,000, so it's very small in comparison to what most of you will be used to and most of you will be coming from, and it is stunning. The clear blue skies we do have frequently, but we'll talk a bit more about the weather later on, and our campus is located right in the heart of the city. If you're thinking about how do you get here, you will transit either Auckland, which is our largest city in New Zealand, or Christchurch, which is the largest city in the South Island. A lot of the students who will come from India will come either via Singapore or through Bangkok. Which way did you come?
I came via Singapore, Auckland.
Auckland, yeah. And then straight down. Yeah. So it's an hour 50 flight from Auckland down. So that'll give you a little bit of where we are. And a little bit more about the city. We do class ourselves in being one of the world's great small cities. Out of our 130,000, we have 30,000 students, which makes it an incredibly dynamic city to live in. Again, if you want to learn more about Dunedin, there is a link here, and I can share this with you via email to get a feel for what the city's like. Not only do we have a great university, which is one of the largest employers in the city, we have a very good teaching hospital. And Future Dunedin is all about tech as well. We have just been given Centre of Digital Excellence for New Zealand, which is super exciting. We've got a great startup community here and a very, very bright looking city ahead of us. So you're joining an innovative university as well as an innovative town. A little snapshot of what life in Dunedin can look like. We do have beautiful beaches on our doorstep, and we also have wildlife as well as food markets, city centre, cafe scene. We are a UNESCO City of Literature as well. But today it's not about Dunedin, it's what will you experience when you come to the University of Otago. We do have an amazing campus life. The city and the university, there's no segregation between them. You will walk from the university straight into the city, and the city was basically developed around the university. The reason why Dunedin is and where the University of Otago is, back in the 1800s, gold was discovered here. That led to great prosperity. And with that, the Scottish migrants and settlers invested this into education, and why we are the first university in New Zealand. We have fantastic collegial staff and students, and we are very much a truly national and international campus. 85% of our students travel from all over New Zealand to study with us. So when I compare us to a sort of Indian perspective, we're like Manipal, where everybody from India would go to study there and then get employment post-study elsewhere. From an international perspective, I'm delighted to say we've got about 2,900 international students now, all from over 100 nationalities. Just to give you a flavour for what some of the postgrad courses can look like, Deepa, who have you got in your postgraduate programme?
Oh, well, in my postgrad, we have students from China. We, of course, have Kiwi as well.
Yeah.
We have a Swiss German. We have a student from Peru. We have a student from Malaysia, we also have a student from Syria as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the international studies will be one program that is incredibly diverse due to the nature of the program, but it gives you an idea of how far people travel come to study with us. As well as international students, our international staff, so 70% of our academics are either from overseas or receive their highest qualification from overseas, and that really gives us why we rank so highly in the world. We are in the top 1% and we're QS 176 ranked. That collective knowledge really adds to your academic experience here. And we also are very, very thankful to have an outstanding student experience. And we have been voted overall student experience for the last 4 years. So with the number of people that we have in a small city, it is a fantastic collegial life. Students don't go away at weekends because everybody's away from home. So you will meet friends from all over the country and as well as the world. Okay, so why are we the University of Otago? We are actually in the region of Otago. This is on your doorstep. It is beautiful if you want to take access of it, and you can get out there within 3 to 4 hour drive of Dunedin. Okay, so what would life look like on campus for you? Well, this is the clock tower, and this was a fabulous group of Indian high school counsellors we had visiting 2 weeks ago. So this shows you in real life what it does look like. So it is stunning. But this gives you an idea of the walkability, and I think this is something that is very different to where, when I speak to a lot of students from India, where they come from. A lot of you will have very long commutes and time commutes into campus. Where you can see the river running through campus, that's the River Leith. The clock tower building that you just saw sits to the left-hand side. The buildings surrounding that is the majority of our campus. So there will be sciences, our central library, humanities, the business school, all within a 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes grid. And the big ugly brown building to the sort of diagonally to the right of the river, that is our teaching hospital. So that is Dunedin's hospital. I unfortunately have spent a bit of time there over the last few weeks with a finger injury, and it is a less than 10-minute walk from campus. Beyond that is the city centre. So you can see how easy and how walkable it is, and that gives you so much more time to either spend studying or doing the activities you enjoy. No more wasted time commuting. So if you're thinking, well, who would I be meeting? Who is an Otago student? I always say it's somebody who's adventurous. There's an element to this. It's not just people who climb mountains. This is somebody who is adventurous in learning. We are very much encourage critical thinking, encourage people to ask questions and join in study. It's about learning more, and very much, it's 20 odd plus hours away by flight from India, so there has to be a level of adventure to even get here. So that's the students that thrive at Otago. We do look for independent students, and as I said, the majority of our students are away from home, and again, they will thrive here. Academically capable, we do rank in the top 1% of universities in the world, so the teaching standard is high. Emotionally mature, now maybe some of our undergraduate first year boys not so much, but they do come out emotionally mature. You learn all the soft skills here because you are away from home and surrounded by peers, and employers really value that in Otago graduates. We also have a very big focus on volunteering, and we are service and community orientated. The city supports the university, and in turn the university supports the city back. Great experiences that you can get amongst it. A snapshot of some of our facilities on campus. We are lucky enough to have 7 libraries. Top left-hand corner is where our largest library sits, over 2,000 students, over 4 floors, delightful in winter when the temperatures are a little cooler. Our business school is there, our centre of innovation, and also our Mellor labs. So there is a whole range of different buildings on campus too. Little snapshot of what student life may look like for you. Top left-hand corner is our is our orientation week, where we have all the clubs and societies. It is a very vibrant campus with lots of experiences to be had. I know I get asked all the time about scholarships. This is a reminder that the New Zealand Excellence Award scholarships close for application on the 25th of November. If you haven't already got your applications in, please do so shortly. We have some postgraduate ones for $5,000 and one undergraduate at $10,000. So please don't miss the timeline on that, because they are a fantastic option for Indian students. Okay, another thing to know is accommodation is a very, very commonly asked question about moving to a city you don't know. Because we are a residential campus, we have 15 residential colleges. They are all very different. These are predominantly for our undergraduate students. We do have one residential college for our postgraduate students. Nobody in New Zealand likes to share a bedroom, so you will have your own bedroom. It's probably something that is quite different to some of the hostels that you may have already stayed in. And they are shared facilities. So you would have shared bathroom facilities. You all need in the communal dining room. There's tutorials in the evening. Fantastic for undergraduate. Our postgraduate college, Abbey College, has again own bedroom. Some will have en suite. All your meals are provided, and it is mainly reserved for masters and PhD students, and all of these spaces are limited. So when you're looking at costs, residential college will be more expensive than other types of accommodation because you have a full wraparound service there. You're looking approximately 10 lakh to cover you for the year. If you go into a private shared flat, this cost will be reduced, which is around 8 lakh all up. So it'll give you a rough idea. That can change depending on accommodation types that you live in. I'm just showing you university flats. Now, our student mix is quite different at Otago than a lot of the other Australasian universities. Our largest international student numbers actually come from America. They come from one semester's study abroad, and we also have a large number from Europe. So our student mix goes America, China, Malaysia. India's getting very close on fourth with us now, which is lovely. And then it breaks down into all the different nationalities from there. So we have a special accommodation called University Flats that is available for our study abroad students because they're only coming for one semester. There are limited spaces in this available for our full degree students, which would be yourselves. So if you are interested in university flats, I would suggest putting in an application very shortly. These are all of our houses, they're leased houses, between 5 and 15-minute walk to campus. You would share with approximately 4 to 6 other people. Again, your own room. This is where you do your own cooking, and there's a whole community behind this. Again, cost on this does tend to be a little bit more expensive because of the wraparound services, but they include all the electricity, which means it's warm throughout winter, and also internet, as well as having everything provided for you. You don't need to buy anything else. So as I say, they do go, then priority is our study abroad students, but if they have free space after that, then they're available to our other international students as well. So the next thing is, well, what does housing look like in New Zealand? Again, it will be very different to India. This is a snapshot of what some of the houses look like, and they completely vary. So I'm not showing you any insides or outsides because they can be so different. Accommodation in Dunedin will be in peak demand in January and February. What you're looking at per room per week starts around $145 and can go up to about $260 for a studio room. Because the accommodation standards can vary so much, we really recommend that you see accommodation before you sign a lease. I can share all these links with you if you send me an email, so you can start looking and getting a feel for the accommodation options out there. There is an international accommodation email you can contact at the university, and they can guide you in the right direction, as well as having accommodation on the page. So I'm going to let Deepa have a little chat about accommodation, because it is very different to India.
It's very true, Sarah. So the accommodation over here, just as Sarah mentioned right away, that it's very different. The very structure is also very different, and as rightly she said, it's better for you to come and actually see and then sign the lease. So in my case, I actually approached the university. I stayed at the place for about a month. I used that time to actually go around, check a couple of flats, and then according to my needs and my requirement, I was able to find a flat. But I did start looking up using the links what Sarah is currently showing. I started doing a little bit of research way beyond time. That gave me a sense of how the houses or how the flats were. So I pretty much was aware what I wanted at that time. So that's one of the best suggestions I can give, is to kind of prepare yourself to do a little bit more research on what kind of place you'd like to stay. But however, I reiterate the same thing what Sarah mentioned. Come over here, take a look, and then sign.
Yeah. And I was saying accommodation is in peak demand. Yeah. February is our biggest start of semester. It's when all the New Zealand students move down here as well. So the earlier that you can at least get temporary, the better, and then look into it. If it's university accommodation that you're interested in, again, I would get the applications in sooner rather than later. Okay, so that's touching on accommodation. And now on to student support. So what else can we offer you at Otago? Being an international student is very, very exciting, but sometimes it's a journey that goes a bit like this. Yeah, you have good days, you have bad days. Yeah. There is an amazing amount of people there that can help you through this journey. So never ever feel that you would be by yourself. New Zealand is a very open and very tolerant society. You just have to ask. And if you come along, ask for help, somebody will be there to guide you. We have a fantastic team of international student advisors. That some of them, we actually have 6 in the team. 2 of them I don't have pictures for, so you get to see lovely 4 of them. But they are there to guide you through your journey as well, so the support is there. Moving on to visas, your visa required workload. All international students must be enrolled in a full-time workload with a minimum full-time of 3 papers in 1 semester. So a paper is a course. We do have a student visa service on campus. This is for students for returning visas, not for your initial visa. That has to go through Immigration New Zealand prior to your departure in New Zealand, in India. Immigration New Zealand, please contact them with your visa inquiries. We are not able to give immigration advice, or if you are going through an agent, chat to them and they can guide you on your application. I spoke to Immigration New Zealand in Mumbai in August when I was there. The best advice they say is apply online your documents. It will be processed quicker. And if you have everything ready to go when you apply for your visa, again, they're not looking for extra documentation and it will really help speed up the process. Okay, but your agents or Immigration New Zealand will be able to guide you with what you need. And the great thing about New Zealand as well, and if you are studying a level 7 bachelor's or any level 8 and above, you do have the opportunity to apply for a post-study work visa for up to 3 years. Again, that's through Immigration New Zealand, but I just wanted to have a chat about that to let you know that is available. And then the nitty gritty. So you have received offer letters. They will mention health and insurance. It is a very important part of coming here and studying here. So Student Safe is our inbound insurance policy. You will be charged for this policy unless you let us know you have an equivalent policy, and you need to do that 6 weeks out of arriving. The information is on the website. This insurance covers you it's a whole range of things, including medical, but it's not just medical. So you need to read the policy to make sure that everything that you require is done. Okay. Once you're on campus, we have, again, the international support team, which is one of the key points. But the initial point of contact for anything is the great team at Ask Otago. They work in the library or just beside it in the link. They are there from 8 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. So there's always somebody there, unlike myself, who tends to go home at 5. They're a great help. Have you used Ask Otago? Right. Tell me your experience.
Actually, so I've gone there multiple times. Because they're my favorite place. That's the central library.
Nice.
Well, second of all is I had a little bit of trouble with enrolling my papers, because as and when you come, you're supposed to be enrolling. There was a problem there, so they were very, very helpful to kind of rectify that and direct me further. The third of all, with Ask Otago is I've gone there with the technical issues of my laptop. I've gone there to find out, because as a master's student, you have to do a little bit of research also as well. So they helped me with citations, with softwares, and also as simple as one day randomly I needed a pen and they gave me a pen. But they are your go-to person for anything and everything about the university.
Fantastic, yeah. So they're there to help. As I say, it's New Zealand. All you got to do is ask.
Yeah.
As well as Ask Otago, we have an amazing recreation centre and also our Students Association with clubs and societies. 20,000 students, most of them under the age of 26. There's a variety of ways to keep you entertained, not only about study, because a healthy body is a healthy mind.
Yeah.
So within walking distance of campus, we have a 3-level gym facility. We also have outdoor fully covered soccer grounds, hockey grounds, the cricket oval, though unfortunately India's not coming next year. We're a little too small, but there are some international games there.
Yeah, there is New Zealand versus Australia test match happening at the moment.
See, 5 minutes walk from campus, doesn't get better than that. But if sports isn't your thing, there is over 150 clubs and society, whether it's cooking, food festivals, bands, reading, something is there to entertain you. These are the gorgeous girls from the Indian Student Association. And this is something, if you want to stay in touch with other Indian students, and they celebrate Diwali, a lot of the festivals. There are a lot of New Zealand Indian students, so it's a great way to meet people who are from Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, and start your connections that way too. So they are definitely worth touching base with.
They're also very proactive as well.
Yeah.
They're very, very proactive.
So they also do a Bollywood production every year. Did you go?
I did.
Was it good?
Fancy, typical, very Bollywood. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So we have a Bollywood every year in the deep south. Doesn't get better than that. So the other student services we have available to you, again, it's about asking and getting help if you need it. We've got an amazing student and learning and development centre with peer assistance. A big question that I get asked a lot is about the Career Development Centre. I'm going to talk about a little bit about that later. And the reason that I'm going to touch on disability, some of you may see my hand here. I broke my finger 4 weeks ago. If anything untoward happens like that to you, there is a great team there that can help. If you need assistance writing your exams, or you're not mobile and you're not able to get to labs, they can help out. So it is all there for you to access. Okay, Dunedin is probably one of the safest cities I have ever lived in, but we do have a lot of young people on campus. We have an amazing team called Campus Watch who are could patrol the university as well as the student area just to make sure everybody's okay. They are not a police service, but they just check in on everybody. They are used a lot of the time for changing light bulbs in university accommodation, people who have lost keys. But I'll give you an example where they are fantastic. So again, from a security and safety perspective, we had a student who unfortunately had a snowboarding accident, had broken his arm, came home on a Sunday night, was quite upset. He was from the States, he was a long way from home. Campus Watch made sure he got into the house okay. They then contacted the International Student Support Team, who then contacted Student Health. So again, all those facilities are there for you. The one thing with us is, in comparison to, say, Delhi or Mumbai or any of the larger cities, Bangalore, New Zealand does work on a quite different time frame. The campus does get quiet at night. And students sometimes take a little while to adjust to that.
Very true, very true. Yeah.
So if you're feeling nervous for any reason, you just give them a call and they'll walk you back from the library. It's not that it's unsafe, it's more just that it's a little quieter than you're used to.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I do have an incident to narrate. So being a master student, you have your own PG house.
Yeah.
I got out the wrong ID. I was not able to get in. So I just called the Campus Watch, and then within a second I was inside. It was raining that day. It happened just a couple of weeks back, and they were really helpful. Yeah.
So they're your eyes and ears on the ground and can help you out. We also have a dedicated cop or policeman on campus. New Zealand police are incredibly approachable. Mainly he ends up dealing with if there's any theft issues or complaint regarding lost property. There's form filling that you need to do for your insurance, and that's pretty much what he gets up to. Hopefully nothing else will come towards, but again, very approachable. On the whole, New Zealand police officers do not carry guns at all. They are in vehicles, and it is a safe and supportive society. So, touching on the Careers Development Centre, I know employability is a big, big thing post-study. We have an amazing programme called Otago Extra. Undergraduate students, if you're with us for 3, 4 or 5 years, this isn't so critical, but for master's students, we really advise that you connect with them, learn how it works in New Zealand. I'm delighted to say that our Careers Development Centre has just been voted again best in the country. They are brilliant. It's one of our Bombay Stock Exchange students helping out there. Learn how to write your CV. This will all be explained when you arrive on orientation, but the help is there, and I really, really advise you to get amongst it. Okay, so that is an overview of the university. Now it's about getting yourself ready for the big overseas adventure. So thinking about preparing for your trip, enrolling from your papers and courses could well be available to you now, depending on which program you're doing. That can all be done through eVision. You can enrol, and the great thing with Otago is when you arrive on campus, you have a couple of weeks that you can change things around as long as it's not your mandatory papers. So don't feel pressure at the moment that what you choose is locked in. There are a variety of you can speak to a course advisor and get the best designed papers for you. You'll be advised on that at orientation, but if there's papers that you know you definitely want to do, you can enrol for them now. If you've already paid your fees and you need a receipt, you email student.finance@otago.ac.nz. You will need that for your visas, so that will be the best people to contact. Again, your agent will be able to help you with that if you're going through an agent. Apply for your visa. If everything's in place, you guys all have your letters of offer, so please do go and apply for your visa as soon as you can, and that will ensure a timely arrival. Next on the list is buying your flight tickets. So
very important.
Very important thing to do. The later you leave it, the more expensive it will get. So that's certainly something we advise you do. We've talked about insurance policies. Dunedin Airport, I will give you the heads up about Dunedin Airport. It is quite far out of the city, and we are a small city, so there is no trains or buses that run from the airport. You may think you have landed in a farm, and it is surrounded by fields. Rest assured, you're only 30 minutes drive to campus, and it's a very different story when you get over the hill into Dunedin.
I love the airport.
Yeah, it's a very small airport. If any of you are from Cochin, I would say, or Kochi, that's probably the closest airport I would equivalent it to. But we're not an hour and a half out of the city, so that's the good news. But as we have no bus service, you can organise a transfer service, and I'll show you where to do that on the website. And then the next thing is nowhere to go first thing. It's orientation, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So Deepa and I talked long and hard about what is the best thing to bring with you. Definitely warm clothes. This is New Zealand. We have very changeable weather, which we can talk about in a second. You will be arriving in summer, but summer is not Indian summer. It is not 35 to 40 degrees by any stretch of the imagination. So we can have warm days, and then we can have much cooler days. So my suggestion is, if you don't have warm, at least buy some warm clothes before you arrive to travel in. And then when you arrive, then find out where to get them. But you also need your floaters, because we do have warm, sunny days. In New Zealand, they're called jandals. You'll learn lots of different words. And a warm jacket is definitely something that is a necessary item to have. Bringing some of your favourite foods can be done, but we do have Indian food stores, so please speak to your mum and dad. You don't need to bring 30 kgs of pre-packed Indian curry. You'll be delighted to hear we've got some great Indian stores close to us, and I'll showcase them in a second. Any technical equipment, power adapter, too, is a good thing to have in case you lose one. Your documents. You can get New Zealand dollars on arrival. We are very much a cashless society in New Zealand on the whole. We tend to use our ATM or bank cards for everything. But the other thing that Deepa did, and she can talk about this, is your ANZ Jumpstart.
Yeah, so this was really helpful for me. ANZ is actually a bank in New Zealand, and they pretty much have this facility of creating a Jumpstart account. So what you can do is you can just reach out to the ANZ customer service. The details are available on their website. Reach out to them, send in a mail, and they'll be glad enough to contact you less than 48 hours. And what you can do is you can transfer your money, and they will create a Jumpstart account. They would probably request a couple of documents from you, hand it over to them, and then it's all done online. So how this helped me is that I didn't have to manually carry any currency of that sort. So when I came here, I did carry just 100 or 200 NSD, and then the rest of the amount was there with me over here. All I had to do is, and we have ANZ Bank walkable distance in the university itself, so it's helpful for me. I just went up there, showed in the account number that the ANZ customer service created for me, and then within less than 10 minutes, I had my ATM card, and it was really helpful. So that was one task and worry that was out of my head. So yeah, and this facility is, I believe, until now given by ANZ alone.
Yeah. The other bank that's very close walking distance is Westpac, but I'm not too sure if they offer a similar service. It could be worth checking out. So this is our Indian food stores and restaurants. So please be rest assured we have 3 food stores and a plethora of Indian restaurants. Yogi's Food Mart has just recently opened, and it is right beside campus. I am informed they have hot samosas.
They do have hot samosas.
And they also had Diwali sweets. They had Dula.
they have laddu, they had besan ka laddu, and they also had son papadi as well. You're going to get a lot of Indian snacks. You won't miss that.
Yeah. So that's something maybe you can tell mum about probably more. You're all good here.
Yeah.
Okay, but what to leave behind? I wouldn't suggest traveling with expensive family jewelry. And the other thing that you may not be used to is New Zealand has incredibly strict biosecurity. You will be informed of this on your New Zealand visa. But there's no fresh fruit, no meat, no honey, no animal, or some animal and wood-based products aren't arrived. So please check that and make sure you don't bring it. Otherwise, they will be taken off you at customs. The reason why our biosecurity is so strict is we are a very isolated island. Our agricultural industry is worth billions, so they protect that with this. We have little sniffer dogs at the airport that can sniff it out, and you will be fined if you do not declare it. So don't save yourself the hassle and just leave it at home.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah. So these details are available on the immigration site and also on the student visa as well. So as much as tempted you could be, please, I'd request you not to, just abide by the rules and regulation. Make it as much easy as possible for your transit from India to New Zealand.
Yeah. Okay, what to be prepared for. So it is going to be a very different environment. The South Island population, all up, is 1 million people. So you're going to have a lot of space in comparison to probably what you're used to.
It is a treat to the eyes, actually. I walk. I love to walk. So it was such an amazing experience to walk and fresh air. Of course, not that I'm saying anything is bad, but it's a nice change.
Yeah, we have blue skies, but also our weather is very changeable. So yesterday we had 18 degrees, beautiful, beautiful sunshine. And then in the afternoon we had a hailstorm for about 30 seconds. And then we had rain. And then it went blue sky, beautiful blue sky again. So where we're located, we do have wind, we do have weather changeable, so that's why we said about the warm clothes. But it is beautiful. The other thing is I'm not a New Zealander, I'm from Scotland originally. We were talking about New Zealand accents. They are very different to what you may have, or how you probably learned English and English accents. There's a lot of different words.
Yes, but I think, but the beautiful thing is that if you ask them to repeat, they are very patient and kind enough to explain themselves once again.
Yeah. So everybody is very willing, very open to help. You just have to ask, and they'll explain stuff. We do get up early in the morning. I think you guys will be fine because you joined a webinar at 9 a.m. But we don't tend to eat as late and as India either.
Yeah, that's I like it anyway, because early dinner is always good. You could stay fit.
We do have quite a big outdoor culture, but as I said, there's lots of other things that you can get involved in if you don't enjoy the outdoors, but expect to see New Zealanders cycle, hike, play sports, get onto beaches, have picnics, have barbecues.
It's fun to even see people jogging right in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's interesting to actually see that.
And the other thing that we have is we are a very multicultural society. So we have amazing cuisine available. You name it, it's available here. So Deepa's thing was that we have great chocolate and ice cream.
Yes, yeah, it is good. I think it's also because of the the dairy industry in New Zealand. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Again, we're a small country with an amazing climate and very rich soil, so we do produce very, very good food. So we're pretty happy here. Arranging travel is on our website. It tells you where to book an airport transfer, going back to that. And then arriving on campus. Orientation with the University of Otago is compulsory. The main reason for this is you will bring your passport and you will learn a lot of the stuff we've talked about today, but it will just reinforce it to you. You would have arrived in, it's a big journey, it's a lot of changes to first in, and we'll help guide you through the process, where to go, how to become enrolled, where to find out about the friendship networks, the clubs and societies. The orientation sessions go over a week. It's not just one main session. You can sign up for them now already. So the first one starts early on Thursday, 18th of February, and they go through to Friday, the 21st of February. So if you're all ready to go, you can already sign up for an orientation session. You may be lucky enough to have me again, or maybe not, I might be overseas, but who will present, and again, all the opportunities to ask questions. We normally only have about 30 people in an orientation session, so it can be very one-on-one.
Personally, I think orientation is extremely important because it helped me, to understand how the university functions. I think that is extremely, extremely important as a student. It's just not to know that, okay, XYZ are my papers, I need to study. But I also think you must familiarize with the atmosphere of the university, and there's no other better time to make friends, familiarize, get that vibe of how a student life is from the orientation. Also, secondly, you did mention, Sarah, is about the culture. I got to understand, learn, and it helped me blend in as well. So I think that's also good. And I think Orientation Week also has a university tour.
Yeah,
and I think that campus tour. Yeah, thanks a lot. So I think that also will give you a kind of sense as to where what is. For the first couple of weeks, you might find yourself, kind of dilly-dallying, but then I think that pretty much is. And a lot of material that they gave us during the orientation helped me a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, as I said, talk about culture. You will also learn how the teaching style is here as well, because again, that will probably be very different to how you've studied before. You'll know with our class sizes, they can vary. So if you're in a postgraduate program, you may only have 11 to 20 other students, so it is an immersive learning experience. All of that sort of information is taught through, so it's really good just to get a heads up before you start your actual teaching time. There's also lots of fun activities. International Food Festival being one of my favourites, so great experience to get amongst it. So ideally, if you can arrive the week beginning Monday the 17th, that will give you time before your lectures start week beginning the 23rd.
If I could just pitch in a point. In case you have some time, I think the professors of your respective departments are very keen enough to meet you before the course starts. Actually, I got in touch with my professor way before. So I think that's also a very nice way to understand, to have that one-on-one conversation with your professors as well, because you very much have enrolled in the papers, and if you go to your respective department, the details are there, and they're extremely happy to connect with you. I think that's
cool. Yeah. So helpful websites, there is a 1 hours with under students with offers. This will give you all the pre-arrival information that you need, so you can go through that. And I'm going to finish up with a little bit of Dunedin at Night. So that is a little bit of Dunedin at Night. Now, I'm so happy to say I've got some questions through. So hopefully we've answered most things you wanted to know. A couple that have come through is residential colleges from Rika. I will look into that for you, and I can get back to you on that just to make sure that I have the right answer for you. But there's another couple of students who've asked to be put in touch with each other prior to arrival. Now, if any of you would like to be put in touch with each other prior to arrival, please email me with your WhatsApp is probably the best thing to do. I've already got some students who've connected via WhatsApp, and then I can share the details. But for privacy reasons, I need you to give me consent that you're happy for me to share your WhatsApp details. So if you're happy to do that, email me away. Okay, now Anurag is asking about the public transport network. So the public transport network in Dunedin is bus. We don't have any trains. We are a small city. Depending on where you live, the majority of our students will walk from their housing to university, because most houses are between 5 and 15 minutes. And that is in the North Dunedin area where a lot of our student flats are. If you live further out in other suburbs, there's usually a bus connection. I live in North East Valley, which is about 8 minutes it's 8 minutes by bicycle. I cycle to work. Skateboards are very popular. You probably won't have seen that much in India because our pavements and our cycle lanes are very good. But North East Valley has a great bus connection that runs every 15 minutes. So it just depends on where you are, what bus connectivity you have. If you're wanting to get out and explore more remote places, then it will be car that you will do that by. And you can hire a vehicle, or ideally befriend somebody who has a vehicle is a good way to do it. You can drive on your Indian driving license, as long as your Indian driving license is in English for year 1 when you're in New Zealand. After that, then you have to transfer it over to a New Zealand driving license. So on the Dunedin website link, you will be able to learn all about the bus structure there as well. Okay, another question's come through. Apart from passport and visa, what's all the necessary documents we need to carry? It's really only your passport and your visa that we need to see. If you're planning on post-study working in New Zealand, then I would certainly recommend bringing your certificates with you. Then you've got everything to hand and you don't have to worry about it. And when I first migrated here, I came here for working holiday visa. I did not have my academic transcript. It was in a box somewhere in my mother's attic in Scotland, and much to her displeasure, she had to try and find it for me. So when I needed it for immigration requirements. So I would certainly suggest any of your final transcripts are probably all that you need, and to carry hard copy would be great.
There is some question from you.
If you're staying at the residential college and attend the registered, it would be a great thing to do if you can get here for the 12th. This is when all of our students arrive on campus, Rika. So it's a great way to meet people on your first day. So if you can get here for the 12th, that would be great. But entirely up to you. I don't think it's a compulsory one. Oh, they're coming in thick and fast. Here we go.
Yeah, so let's start from here.